Hi, my name is David Blystone, and this is the introduction to the Algebra 1 video course I will be uploading to YouTube. My intentions for you for this video course, you can use it as standalone videos. Each video will have a topic name and talk about what topics it is. And so you could use them as standalone videos if you just need help on a particular algebra topic, you don't remember what they taught you in school, and you just need help. This could also be used as a comprehensive homeschool course. Homeschool parents, you could easily have your students watch this, and this would teach them the whole topics for a whole Algebra 1 course. With the resources I listed, you could have the student use that book, have problems out of it, and again, complete a whole algebra course, and it would cover everything in that book. This could also be used as a course complement if you're doing something else, but you just want something to go along with it, some videos, because you're reading the text, you're trying to do it by yourself, but you need some help. This could be used as that. Or as an algebra refresher, you just need to brush up on your algebra during the summer, you forgot about it and you want to just go through things, you can do it this way, with these videos. The resources I will be using UCSMP Algebra 2nd Edition. That's the University of Chicago School Mathematics Project. It looks like the picture on the screen here. It could also have a little logo that says Prentice Hall down in one of the corners, or it could say Scott Forsman in the text. Both of those are the exact same book. They're just two different printings of the same book, exact same. But there are other editions. There's an older edition that looks like it has a baseball in front. That's older. There's a newer edition. I don't remember what it looks like, but it's different. And there's even a fourth edition now. Those are completely different. They do teach the same topics, basically, but they go in different orders. And if you are trying to follow along, you're not going to be able to as easily. By no means are you. So if you're trying to follow along, this is the book I am using, UCSMP Algebra 2nd Edition. Again, use that picture as a guide. It looks like that. I will also be using the Desmos graphing calculator. Again, desmos.com. They have a graphing calculator. It's free, and we can use it to see graphs and look at graphs and analyze things like that. So I'll be using that to show you. So here's how, if you were using this for like private teaching, private tutoring, or homeschool, here's how I recommend you use it. I would say get the book to do problem set. I will give some good ideas for practice work sets at the end of each video. I will always put problems that I think are good. I try not to make them too long, depending on the lesson. Sometimes they're longer than others. It just depends if I think that a problem is important or not. I usually make them try to do no more than 25, unless it's just really important. 25 to me is the most it needs to ever be. Again, if you want the book, eBay, A-Books, those are good places to try and find it. If you're looking at half-price bookstores in your area, half-price books, again, now that can be a hit or miss, but you might find it there. Solutions manual. Get the solutions manual just in case. So this set of books has two things. One's called Solutions Manual and one's called Answers Masters. The Answer Masters are just the answers, period. Not how they come to them, just answers. They're okay. They're used mostly in a classroom for like grading homework real quick. But they don't tell you how you got to an answer. Now, if you know what you're doing, if you got this, the Answer Masters might be fine. But the Solutions Manual will help you in case you get stuck. The Solutions Manual, again, is available to paperback. Look for, again, it'll say Solutions Manual. It will have the picture of the textbook on it. The other thing you could look for is the TRF CD-ROM. That's Teacher's Resource File. Let me write that here. TRF CD-ROM. The TRF CD-ROM, again, has all the books, the side books, not the teacher's edition, but it does have the side books for this book on it. And Solutions Manual is one of the things it has, which you could use there. It would be a PDF version. If you can find that, that's the same, that has your Solutions Manual on it as well. As far as tests, there is a testing program. It's called it would be Assessment Masters. I won't be making tests from that. However, if you would want to get that as a parent, if you're doing this homeschool, you could do that. It's on the TRF CD-ROM. There are assessments or assessment masters. However, if you would like tests that aren't there, that you don't have to hide the book from your homeschooler or something like that, in a few months from when this video is posted, I will make a video about what I'm planning on doing about tests, and probably how you could contact me to get a test if you need it, and get a link to a test that you could print out and give. So that will be that. So how you should use the videos. If you're using these just as standalone videos, have a pencil, paper, and calculator ready. You should have a calculator to go through these. I would expect you have a calculator. Don't try to do some of the calculations by hand. You can. Especially if your school or who you're using this for say no, never calculator. Fine, I understand. Don't use a calculator then. You got to do what they tell you. But if you're doing this at your own, calculator is important. If you're using this as a homeschool course or for your own private learning, use a notebook. Keep all your notes in one notebook. One of those graph paper notebooks are really nice for this, because then if there's a graph, you can really quickly do it on the graph paper. So write down all new vocabulary, theorems, and charts. If I put some vocabulary, a theorem, or some charts on a slide, pause the video, write them down. They're important to have. I don't just put vocabulary up there for just to have it. It's probably important. It's something you need to know. The worked examples. I will be working examples, and you should write them out as I'm doing them. Do them along with me so you understand how I'm doing it. I will talk through the process, what you should do, how we should work this out. Then I'll give you usually a you try problem. A you try problem is a problem that you should try on your own. You would work that out by yourself by pausing the video, and I will always say, okay, pause the video and try the you try problem. And I'll give you a few seconds and you can try it. And then you start the video and you can go through and check how did you do it correctly. So that's how I would use the videos. Calculators. Again, for my sake, I believe in calculators. I believe they are important. You should be able to use them. So if you are doing this as like a homeschool or something, I would assume you have at least a scientific calculator. More than a 4 function, it needs to be a scientific calculator. You don't have to have a graphing calculator. I'm not going to say if you can see by using your graphing calculator. I'm not going to say that. Desmos can do some of that. That's free. But I will say that if you use my later videos for pre-calculus, calculus, and algebra 2, I will be assuming you have a graphing calculator, those. So if you are considering using my videos for more, you might want to get one. And a lot of schools, may have used them. Some schools provide them for you, great. If they do, fine. But I would say get your own. It's not a bad investment. They're always good to have. If you can help it, don't use your phone. Why? There are a lot of the calculator app on iOS is excellent, but you can't use it on most PSAT, SAT, ACT, or AP exams. You can't use it in school usually on a test. So get to learning to use a regular calculator. Now, it is true on the PSAT, SAT, and some of the AP exams, they're going to give you, if you're doing it on computer, which I think they're all moving to, an online calculator. And that's fine, but my personal opinion is a calculator on the side, at least even for a backup, is a little bit better. So you're able to kind of multitask. You're not having to click on the buttons for the calculator and then click over here. And you've got, It's a little bit easier to me. But that's just my opinion. But again, if you can help it, absolutely don't use your phone. If you can't, I'm not, I'm not no policeman. I'm not going to see you through the screen. I can't tell you, yeah, you're using your phone. Stop that. But I would. All right, here are some recommendations for calculators. For a scientific calculator, the TI-32XS. There's a regular and a multi-view. Regular just has bigger things and it doesn't necessarily look like math. Like it doesn't. It only shows one line. But the multi-view shows more. There's also the Casio FX300 ES and Casio FX 115 ES Plus Second Edition. I can honestly say I don't know that much about the Casios. I looked them up on Amazon to get some recommendations. They seem okay. And I know Casio has made good calculators for a while. So and the reviews seem okay with those. So, if you're looking for a scientific calculator, one of those would be good. For graphing calculators, I would go with the TI-83 Plus, anyone in that series, or the TI-84 Plus series. Any of the models of those would be fine. I just don't know enough about Casio graphing calculators to make a recommendation. I've never actually used a Casio graphing calculator. I've only ever used TI. And I don't want to say, oh, this one's good, by what I've seen. Because honestly, TI corners the market, let's face it. And they make a good calculator. I'm not repping them. I have no deal with TI. But again, they make a good calculator. Be careful on other models. There are older calculators. The TI-82 is kind of a slower, older version of the TI-83 Plus. It can't graph as many functions at one time, and it's a lot slower. It would work. The TI-83, which is like the older brother of the 83 Plus, it also, if you can find one working like that, you could probably get it pretty cheap. I don't know. Again, the screens on those are getting old, but you might could find one cheap, and if you just need something cheap, it might work. Again, any version of the TI-83 Plus or 84 series, CE, the color one, the 83 Plus Silver, the 84 Plus Silver, the 84 Plus Regular, whatever, all good. Now, there are the TI-89 Titanium and TI Inspire. You might see those, and they might, 89, higher than 83 Plus. Inspire, these look really nice. They are nice. They have what they call a computer algebra system, CAS. It's very powerful. It can do a lot. But they've stopped allowing these on many of the national tests. SAT, PSAT, ACT. They don't allow them. The APs do, but as I warn you, a lot of colleges will say no to those because of the computer algebra system. They want you to learn to do things on your own, some of the things that they can do, so that you have to do it on your own. So if you want one of those or have one of those, use it at your own risk. You can use it. But again, just know when you're not going to be able to use it, and don't be surprised when something says you can't. Because it may be that, don't let it catch you by surprise. All right, so here's an overview of the course. I put everything in units in the book. It's just the chapters. These will be on different playlists on my channel. As they come up, I will start one unit at a time and probably go a few videos at a time as I make them. So the first one is on uses of variables. We'll be talking about variables and things like that. Then we'll be going into multiplication in algebra, then addition in algebra, and subtraction in algebra. Then we'll be talking about linear sentences. Then we'll be talking about division in algebra, slopes and lines, exponents and powers, quadratic equations and square roots, polynomials. Then we'll be going into linear systems, factoring, and we'll end the course on functions. So, again, look for these videos. If you're watching this as you see it pretty soon, if it's new video, you're probably not going to see but a few lessons in Unit 1 on YouTube right now. If you're watching it later, I hopefully have much more up, and at some point I'll have all 13 units full out done, and this will be old. But for right now, I will be getting these and keep them going. I think that about covers it for the course overview. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments, but I would encourage you to go ahead and start looking at the course. Start with Unit 1. There's a unit opener for every unit. Start looking at that before, because questions might be answered there. All right. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day.